day everyone. Today, we're going to discuss about the early Filipino in the pre-Hispanic period. During the pre-Hispanic period, communities lived near the bodies of water wherein houses were lined along the coast of seas, bays, rivers, and lakes. You might be asking or wondering why. Filipinos before lived near the bodies of water because they can easily access food from water resources such as fish, seashells, crabs, or seaweeds that is crucial for their survival or living. And second is the means of transportation wherein they can transport their products or foods from different places. The third reason is they cannot be easily attacked by their enemies. That is the reason why they live near the bodies of water. Aside from the questions to why do they live near the bodies of water, you might be also wondering about their shelters, livelihoods, and what are their customs and beliefs. Let's discuss first about the early shelters during the early Filipino pre-Hispanic period. The first early shelter were the caves. Early Filipinos lived in caves because it is the safest place to hide from wild animals and it's strong enough to serve as shelter during typhoons. But they later moved to plains and coastal areas for farming and fishing. The second early shelter is nipa hut. Nipa hut is made up of nipa palm leaves, bamboos, and woods. It is a square shape and it is 1 meter above the ground. Its distinguishing feature is one room only, and it is used for dining room, living room, bedroom, or receiving room. The main post of the house is called a rige and it has a place at the back that is for water jars and for cooking that is called batalan. The third early shelter were tree houses. Tree houses were built on a trees with ladders wherein people climb into it when they try to get in the house, and it is built to protect the owner from wild animals and also from the enemies. And the ladders of the tree house were raised up from the ground when it is nighttime. The next early shelters were houses on stilts. These houses are built along the coastal areas such as seas, lakes, rivers, or bays. These houses are also called pile dwellings or lake dwellings and are raised on stilts over soils or bodies of water. These houses are primarily built as protection against the flood. After the shelter, let's talk about their livelihood. The first livelihood is agriculture wherein there are two methods, the kaingin method and the wet method. Farmers prepare the area by cutting or burning the dead plants and trees. Before cutting or burning the trees, they perform first a ritual. Second method is the wet method wherein rice were planted on the areas where dikes were built to collect water. The second livelihood is hunting. Men use bows and arrows to hunt for deer in the forest, and they were accompanied by dogs to chase after the deer. And after the catch, they divide the deer among themselves. The third livelihood is boat making wherein they make boats out of wood. A boat made for 50 to 100 people is called biray, and the boat made for more than 100 people is called biroko. The fourth livelihood is trading. wherein Filipinos traded with other Filipinos.
The standard of exchange was gold. Malubay is worth 2 pesetas. Bilu is worth 3 pesetas. Lingingi is worth 4 pesetas. And Oregueras has the highest value, which is 5 pesetas.
Now let us talk about the customs and beliefs of the early Filipino. First is the pagnganga or the chewing of betel nuts. In Tagalog, they call it nganga. In Visaya, they call it buyo. And Malays and Indians call it
Makan
sirek. The ingredients of nganga is areca seeds, lime, leaf of betel, and tobacco. In Ilocano, this is known as mama, or agmama. They also believe in afterlife, and the Manobos have burial practices like burying their relatives in trees.